You're watching Moms Matter at EverTalk TV. I'm your host, Shirin Yadigar, and we are going to talk about something really important today. We're going to talk about your gut and eating healthy, delicious food, how to turn food into medicine with Lauren Rashab, who is a certified clinical nutritionist. She's also a certified yoga and meditation instructor and a medicinal cooking instructor. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Sharon.
Really so, Lauren, what exactly is medicinal cooking?
Okay. So basically what's going on right now is we're trying to eat with food that is going to heal us, right? We don't just want to eat empty calories. So as a practicing nutritionist for so many years, I was always initially taught calories in, calories out. That's all that mattered. But food is our medicine. Food is our greatest medicine. And I have a food first approach. So what I'm doing now is, in addition to, I have some chefs that are delivering medicinal meals right now, and we're taking 12 different proven herbs and spices that have true antiviral compounds. And what do we do with these foods? And how can we maximize the antiviral content and the nutrient density of our foods? So just a little bit of a background on just diversity, gut microbiome, and things like that, and why this matters. The only thing that we can do right now in this time of COVID is to protect our own immunity. And we don't want to overboost it, we want to balance it. And how do we best go about that? Do we shove supplements and pills down our throat? Do we take tons of probiotics? No. I've completely done a 360-degree turnaround on this, because everything I've studied in the last 20 years, both in school and out, has been, oh, the probiotics, take all the probiotics, because that is what's going to repair your gut microbiome. But it doesn't do that, because most of probiotics that are out there are monostrains, and they don't bypass digestion, meaning that you eat them and they never make it to the small intestine because they get completely eaten up by the digestive juices of the stomach. So what do? We go back to the dirt. We go back to the soil.
So what do you mean when you say going back to the soil? Are you saying that you are actually planting everything yourself at home?
Can I walk you outside, or I don't know how the light will be. I'll stay where I am. Anyone can do something as simple as take a pot. The most viral of all the herbs, no pun intended, is the mint. The mint grows rampant. What does mint do? Mint is incredible for digestion, but several of the compounds in mint have components in it that open up the respiratory tract. So since COVID, and I'm hoping everybody's healthy out there and our loved ones are all healthy and safe, but since this is the first line of defense, is through the nasal passage. So if this virus enters there, we need to be able to repair and protect our lungs and respiration, correct?
Right.
And if these herbs and spices have true, proven ability to heal the elements of respiratory infection, well, let's go at it.
Absolutely.
Why are we doing that? Why are we doing other things? Why are we doing these other drugs and over-the-counter things that are doing nothing but destroy our gut microbiome? So our gut microbiome is our first line of defense. And the way we get at that is through the dirt, through the soil, through the herbs, through the spices, going back to the roots. We're all kind of like, the lessons to be learned in this COVID, I think, are so great. We've gotten so far away from the simplicity of life. And the simplicity of life in growing our own herbs and spices, it's so easy to do. But not only that, is that all these fancy meals, and I'm a foodie from way back, and I have a chef placement company, but I've really moved back to let's use meals as medicine. Let's use our meals to heal. Let's just not make these really fancy, check out my new recipe from my cookbook. I have a cookbook that I've never published because I could never come to terms with the fact that I don't just want a pretty recipe. I want every meal to be built from the ground up.
So when you say medicinal herbs, what are we talking about, and how do we put it into the foods that we're making at home?
Okay, so here are my top. Should I give you my top faves? And
yes.
Some of these, I'm going to grab some over here, okay? Stay put.
Okay.
So these are from my garden. And I do talk about these in my old book, Lauren, Vibrant Skin at Any Age, just a little plug, right?
Love it, love it.
So look at, this is what I just got today.
Okay.
This is
What
my bag.
do you have there?
So these are the ones that I'm focusing on in my food delivery service and in my meals right now. So this is, anybody identify this? I'd love to know if someone could identify that. So we have the top herbs that are high in a compound that is proven to be antiviral. It's called carvacrol. Carvacrol is an element, it's a compound that actually is proven to be antiviral in nature. It's called oregano. And we've seen the oil of oregano. I have it in my pantry because truly, yes, if you are having a flare up, and I was just talking to one of my clients today who's starting to have some symptomology. I said, okay, let's go. They're in New York. Let's go pull out the oil of oregano out of our pantry. But if we can, in lovely Southern California, have a small pot or little herb garden designated and to grow our own, let's do that.
Absolutely.
Because what you get from the fresh herb, I mean, just to smell it, it's opening up my sinus cavity. Just to smell this, it's so potent. And to put this into our dishes, I'm actually teaching a Zoom cooking class on Tuesday at 11, and you can give them info on that. But I'm going to take all of these herbs, 7 different herbs, and I'm going to put them into different menus week by week. And Tuesday, starting with the oil of oregano. Oregano has, I would say, out of all of the compounds, that plus the thyme. Here's my thyme. Where's my little thyme over here? I've got a little stick of thyme here. Can't find it. Ah, here it is. That plus my thyme, again, immediately olfactory into the sentences. Those two, and plus sage. I don't love sage, to be honest with you. It's not one of my favorites. Sure. But I have a couple of recipes that I do use sage. And then the simplest of all, which grows like wildfire, is this.
Mint.
Mint. What does mint do? Well, we know it's good for digestion. Did you also know that it's good for the respiratory system? Mint. So digestive health and respiration. So if you think about this, if our immune system, 70% of it isn't the lining of our gut tissue, correct?
Right.
If we think about that being our immune system, well then, what about the herbs and spices that directly go to populate that healthy bacterial flourish? It's not so much like taking all the probiotics. It's about the diversity in the gut microbiome, which is what I talk about a lot. And if we're eating the same things day after day, from the same restaurants day after day, cooking the same recipes day after day, guess what? Your diverse, if I were to look at your diversity in your microbiome, which you can do with a very simple test, and that test will say, oh my gosh, you only have 45 species of different forms of bacteria in your gut. Well, guess what? You don't have a healthy gut. And most Americans have a very low population of biodiversity in their gut. And that's why people are, I mean, my philosophy on this COVID, which again, I don't want to get on a bandwagon here or get on this bandwagon, but the people that have the comorbidities typically are the people with diabetes, heart disease. Most of these populations of people really don't have good gut bacteria. Forget about the diversity. Their bacteria's been burned out by years of antibiotics and over-the-counter drugs. And what I'm seeing now in my client practice, when I look over people's over-the-counter drugs, I'm seeing on average between 5 to 12.
Wow.
What do those do to our gut? Not to listen. As I revealed, I did my great reveal this year. I have seizure disorder. I believe I've talked about why I do, and that's another topic when I talked about the vagus nerve, but I have to be on a medication. Do I want to be? No, but what I do is I'm pedaling as fast as I can. I'm doing my diligence by making sure that what that drug does, which it does, break down the healthy gut, my microbiome, I'm putting it back in with my foods, with my medicinal herbs and spices.
Right. So, Lauren, when you say a biodiverse gut, for people who are watching, how do we create that? I mean, how are we going to really execute that and do that to stay healthy?
Yes. So here are some of my suggestions. So I would take, and again, this is what I'm doing on Tuesday, so I don't want to give it everything away, but I want to tell you a couple of things. Make sure when you're menu planning on your Sunday night, whenever you're if people are even doing menu planning right now, I think people are so out of whack with routine. which I think is also a problem. I think we need to have the routine. I think we need to do the planning so we know what we need to be doing. And when you look at your menus for the week, and I can help with this, I'm going to see, oh my goodness, you're doing the same foods 3 days in a row. That's not going to do anything for your gut microbiome. Why don't we add some other things to it? Let's see what's coming in my farmer's market basket. Let's not dictate what that is every week. Let's just live with the season. What's coming up now, the zucchinis, the squashes, the tomatoes, let me put those back in. Let's not buy things that are coming from China, Chile, New Zealand. Let's not eat those foods. Those will do this much for your gut microbiome. Nothing.
So you're saying, so Lauren, you're really big on farmers market and eating seasonal.
Yes. Yes. And that's the way to build diversity. Now, do you want to talk about specific foods that I like?
I would love to hear specific foods you like. And for example, you say not to eat the same thing. You know, people love to eat chicken every night and do it in 5 different ways. So can you explain to us how to mix it up and how to bring different proteins into our diet?
Yeah. And I want to talk about this. Maybe we'll do another one because I want to talk about protein during COVID because I'm giving a talk on that next week. And I want to share this with you, I'm sure, because I think you'll be interested. But eating right now, in terms of building this gut microbiome, once you get your herbs in your sauces, so I'm going to be doing on Tuesday a medicinal sauce. I'm going to be creating my medicine in a jar. I'm going to be taking this big old pile of herbs, this hunk of burning love right here, and I'm going to be adding all of my healthy, monosaturated, brain functioning fats that also make my microbiome strong. There's a tremendous connection between the gut and the brain. There's 500 million transmitters that go from here to here. Right. So I want to make sure I'm getting my healthy fats with that. So I'm going to make my sauce. I'm going to throw all my herbs in it. I've got a bunch of recipes for this. And I'm going to put my garlic is the other one for immune boosting, obviously, right? Right. Onion has something in it called quercetin. Quercetin is one of the best flavonoids for to fight viruses. That one combined with foods rich in zinc, it's like a powerhouse right there.
Amazing.
Apples, fantastic. The skin, the pectin, contains that quercetin on the very skin of the grapefruit, that white stuff. That's quercetin. That's what you're paying, $25 a bottle for. It's right there.
Right.
So I like things for some people like fermented foods. Again, if you have SIBO, I don't think it's a good idea to have the fermented foods. It may upset your small bacteria. So everyone's different. You see what I'm, we know this bioindividuality I talk about. But I do for some, like I'll add from this wonderful farmer, Katrine, who I love. In fact, if you need incredible boxes, please reach out to me. I want to support these wonderful farmers that are literally busting their asses every week, week to week, delivering the most incredible local produce that, well, it's our medicine. They're delivering our medicine to our doorstep.
So people can reach out to you after this so they can find out more about the details, because I wish I had like an hour with you right now.
Cheers.
And are you having your matcha? See, I'm having my matcha every morning that I make at home because of Lauren instead of coffee. I love you.
Yay, baby. This is my celery juice.
That's so good. Oh, that's your celery juice. I already had that.
Yeah, good for you. Yes. Good for you.
So you talk about biodiversity in the gut, and that each of us is very different. So you can't tell each of us to eat the same thing because everybody is different.
Correct.
But when you say biodiversity and you're saying mixing it up, give us just an example of like a weekly plan of how you mix it up. You don't do broccoli every day. You don't do Brussels sprouts every day. But is it okay to have broccoli twice a week? Or is that a no?
God, yes. Okay, so here are the healing foods. Let's just break it down by category. We need our cruciferous vegetables in spades right now. They contain a compound called sulforaphane, which helps detoxify all the toxins that are coming into our body. We need that. We need those foods that are precursors to glutathione, like asparagus. The way I do it is when I get my box, and again, please don't over clean your produce if you're getting it from the market. I know we're all from the farmers. When you're getting it from the supermarket, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But when you're getting it from the farmers, we want the dirt. What's going to happen after this is we're going to lose all of our ability to fight infection because we've over-sterilized our poor hands and bodies and our nasal cavities and our skin.
That's
That's
right.
gonna be a whole nother set of problems, by the way.
Right.
So you get your box and you've got let's say you've got 5 pounds of broccoli and I saw my asparagus and my squash. So I use those in rotation every 3 days. So I wash them when I use them because I want them to stay fresh and crisp. I wrap them in a bleach-free paper towel, and I can do this. I'm also doing this in another class, a zero waste cooking class. You should waste nothing. And if you don't have a little composter, one second.
Yeah.
Sorry. These are things that like right on your countertop. And the city will deliver, I think, a little hand-milled thing you can put in your backyard if you have a little garden. If you don't, then obviously you're not going to do that. So also what came in my box last week, I had a ton of fresh berries. Again, I will eat those until the cows come home. The antioxidants, the dark rainbow foods, those have the highest compounds of anthocyanins, those healthy compounds that really fight infection. If you eat those every day, I don't care about that so much. You know, it's
Right.
about eating, making sure when you're eating a rainbow of foods, you're not eating chicken and rice every single night.
Right.
You're eating everything that comes from this medicinal place, from this garden, from our soil, and you're rotating it through the week. So in that one box, you should be able to make 6 days of meals.
Amazing. Now, for people who are local and are watching, where do you get, which farmers do you use that deliver to your house that you love?
Yes. So, Garrett, I wish you were watching because not only is he the cutest farmer you've ever seen, when he delivers that box, he's adorable. Garrett is from Wednesday's Brentwood Farmers Market that you probably know. He's Country Fresh Herbs. He's delivering the most, I think it's so reasonably priced, by the way. I'm like shocked what I'm getting every week for like $50. It's insane.
Amazing. That's awesome.
I got so Garrett from Country Fresh Herbs, I'll give you guys a list. Garrett from Country Fresh Herbs, Frecker Farms, Katrina's delivering from Sauerkraut and Bliss. She's making fermented turmeric sauerkraut.
Wow.
Amazing. I got that last week. She fermented garlic for me. Fermented foods for most people are incredible to build the gut microbiome.
Right.
They really are. They really are. So.
Incredible. So,
oh, yeah, sorry. And I didn't tell you. And Kempner Farms, if you're eating animal protein, pasture-raised chicken, the best eggs, get the black hen eggs. They're incredible. They're this big. They're green. The yolks are almost red. When you have a red yolk, what you're getting is choline. Choline is the #1 nutrient for neurotransmitters for the brain.
Amazing. I mean, you know what I love so much about you, Lauren, is that you're all about food first and you're so about diversity. You're not one of those people who's like, okay, you got to all become vegan or you're going to die. You know, it's like, let's eat it all, but let's eat the organic versions. And before we say goodbye, and ladies and gentlemen who are watching, when we say goodbye, please don't leave. We're going to stay on so we can answer all the questions that you have. I'm just going to say goodbye for the show. But Lauren, before we leave, you talked a lot about soil. And for people who are actually planting at home, and you don't have to have a large garden, you can be doing this in pots. What's your tip about growing your own herbs at home?
So I don't have a green thumb, I confess. If my girlfriend Karen Silas Menschel is listening, I owe my gardening skills to you. I adore you. She helped me with my garden every season. The simplest thing to do is buy the seedlings rather than to go from the seed. Just buy the little seedlings. I'm going to just take you. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to take you to my little garden in the back.
Beautiful. So there's lettuce,
kale,
and herbs.
Wild arugula is very incredible. It's so rich in vitamin K, really, really important source for bone health, because when we're getting the vitamin D like I'm getting right now from the sun, we need the vitamin K, and that's what distributes the calcium into our bones. Do not take calcium pills, please, if you're on them. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Well, we're going to have to bring Lauren back again to talk about how to take your vitamins, because I didn't know until I spoke to Lauren about how important it is, how some vitamins are water soluble and some are fat soluble, and you need to take certain ones with certain ones, and not everyone should be taking the same vitamins, you know?
Right.
Lauren, you're a little blurry. Can't see you well.
Oh, how's that?
Oh, you probably just have a bad connection from coming back, but I think
Okay.
you'll,
I'm back inside. You're blurry too.
there we
Way
go.
better?
I'm starting to get a picture now.
Okay.
So, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today
Thank you
on
so
Moms
much.
Matter.
Thank
You
you
are
so
a
much,
wealth of knowledge, and I hope all the mamas watching today have some great information. And please tune in next time right here at Moms Matter. But don't leave, because we're going to keep talking.